Yeah, I mean, these are things to also love about Cambodia, Thailand, and stuff like that. I mean, this is the real world that we're living in here. So if you are coming to Southeast Asia, don't let any of this stuff that I tell you now put you off. Look at that fantastic view. Because need is the mother of invention. These people. Okay, just tie my shoelaces. So I'm going out for another walk. Tonight, I want to talk to you about the things that could go wrong. Little scams. Let's suppose you've never been to Southeast Asia before, or maybe you haven't been in a while. One of the questions that you're going to get asked when you first arrive is, how long you stay. And you'll repeatedly get that question all the time. You might go to the hairdresser, or you'll take a tuk-tuk, hotel manager, or what have you. Innocent enough question, but it has purpose. One is to try and work out how much money you've got left. The second thing is pricing. Like if you've just arrived, the price will probably go up. That happens a lot here. Not that the people that are asking this question are necessarily all bad. They're not. I mean, like, you have to understand that a lot of these people here are experiencing difficult circumstances. They're also very conscientious as a result. Like if you don't, if you're not here, often you're not going to eat. So it doesn't make them bad people, but they're experiencing their own sort of form of Groundhog Day. You're not the only sort of white guy or whatever that comes along, or foreigner that comes along, that they've experienced that day. Like it's so the first thing that you're going to get is that question. How long you stay Cambodia, how long you stay Thailand, how long you stay Vietnam. You'll get that a lot. Common question, and with purpose. Doesn't make the people bad people. It just means they're conscientious and they're trying to do business, which is fine. But just be aware of that. Like you'll get that question a lot. The next thing is 3 o'clock in the morning. Yes, I call it the magic hour. And by magic, I mean what happens is they will all of a sudden have to go and see their mother, or pick up a mobile phone, or meet girlfriend for a coffee or whatever. All right, 3 o'clock in the morning. The girlfriend or sister or what have you will show up, and she'll be dressed to the nines, wearing high heels and short skirts and all this sort of stuff. These girls are not going to visit their mothers. They're not going to, pick up a mobile phone or anything like that. 9 times out of 10, these people are going, or these girls are more than likely going to Pontoon if they're here in Phnom Penh, which is like a super mega club. And if they're going there, they're probably going there to meet foreigners like you. So if your girlfriend's disappearing at 3 o'clock in the morning, she's not going to see a sick grandmother. So be aware of that. Also, the easiest way, if you're wanting to find, please go. If you're wanting to find a girlfriend, the best way of getting one that's not disingenuous is to pretend you've got no money. Be a little bit crazy, in need of help, that sort of stuff. A bit like me, you'll do well here with the more genuine crowd. The thing with Thailand and Cambodia as well is because most of these people are Buddhists. The vast majority of them are much nicer than what we are in a lot of ways. But at the same time, you get good and bad everywhere. So just be aware of that. So 3 a.m. In between sort of, when the sun sets and 3 a.m. as well, you'll get what I call the call-arounds. So you would have been to a restaurant or a bar or a club or wherever, and you've met some girl or guy or, whatever. And every night, around the same time or later, you'll get a call or a text message asking you what you're doing. Would you like to come in, have a drink, that sort of stuff. this girl is not, well, this guy is not doing this because you're the best sort of interaction that they've ever had. They're doing it because their managers in these businesses are smart. They know that if you pick up the phone, every 10th call or so, you'll make a sale. So you go on a list and they'll ring you. And once again, it's not all like this, but it's part of that machine where you're worse off than when you arrived. It's going through the market again. You get a lot of that. Like a lot of guys go through that. In some respects, you're actually better off here having nothing, because if you do, you'll be amazed at the amount of times that you'll be lying in bed at 4 o'clock in the morning and you'll get a knock on the door and someone wants to come and stay. We forget that levels of desperation that we experience in our lives, not being able to pay our phone bill and all that sort of stuff, they sort of fail in comparison to the types of desperation that you get in other parts of the world. Not that we're the best or we're the free or anything like that, because that's all a big lie as well. It's more a case of we haven't been exposed to it. So be kind. Like people don't want to hurt you. They're just trying to make a living. Most of the time. But you can easily get your heart broken. So be careful of that. The other thing as well is if you've got a girlfriend and she's only got one social media account and she's very pretty, be very suspicious of that, because more than likely she's got quite a few, and she just has one sort of set aside for her boyfriend. If you meet them on TikTok and they've got 4,000 followers, you can guarantee that a couple of hundred of those guys are probably sending that girl money. But not that, once again, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just going to go down 104 again. But it's something to be aware of, because a lot of people do get their hearts broken. Hello.
Hello.
How are you all? It's good to be alive, I'll come back later. I wait, you too. These are things to also love about Cambodia, Thailand, and stuff like that. This is the real world that we're living in here. So if you are coming to Southeast Asia, don't let any of this stuff that I tell you now put you off. Look at that fantastic view. Because need is the mother of invention. These people are very inventive, very clever. A lot of this stuff as well is a lot worse in Thailand. Here, the Khmer are lovely. They are, like I've said, they're some of the loveliest people that you will ever meet. I'm not at all biased, but I just love Cambodia. So be aware of that. Stuff like, TikTok and stuff like that as well. Just be careful of anyone that you meet online. Be careful of anyone that you meet when you're in country. Have a good memory. Remember things, A lot of these ladies that you'll meet as well, they've grown up in sort of rural sort of settings. Lots of buffalo and stuff like that. If she speaks English, she's one of the few that probably grew up in a family that had a little bit more money. But if she's from, sort of out in the provinces and she doesn't speak English, that can also be both get good and bad, just depending on how long she's been in the trade. But you're gonna, hello darling, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get a lot of that. Okay, so just getting back to the 3 a.m. thing. So 3 a.m. in Phnom Penh, all of these bars, most of them, close. So that's why they end up going out and freelancing until dawn. They'll go to Pontoon or some other establishment, maybe the casinos or outside the casinos, and they'll wait. I wait, you too. I will come back. I promise. I promise. Yeah, I know. Careful with my phone. So, yeah. I mean, didn't bring my bloody list with me. Damn it. What else was there? So there was the tick asking you because they want to know how much money you got. Yeah, if you can develop the relationship from there, you're doing really well. If she's got a sick grandmother at 3 o'clock in the morning, needs to go and save her friend or whatever, if it's happening at 3 o'clock in the morning, there's something fishy going on, right? So if it's happening all the time, it's time to end that relationship. But if that's happening, that's why. That's what they're doing. It's they're desperate for money. They've got family members or whatever that need to be looked after. Aging population here in Southeast Asia doesn't make them bad people. It makes them desperate to try and fix an issue that they have that maybe you don't have the means to do, or maybe they're too embarrassed to ask for help. You get that a lot. Losing face in Southeast Asia is a big thing. Okay, so if they're not mentioning stuff that they find embarrassing, that's why, because they don't want to lose face in front of you. They don't want to lose face in front of their friends. Losing face as well is something that you need to be aware of. It's something that we don't really have so much in the West, but you have it a lot here in Southeast Asia. The things that are going to bring you unstuck will often come back to that. Okay, if you embarrass someone, if you say something, in public that is going to make them lose face in front of their peers, that's the sort of stuff that can really bring you unstuck here. So be aware of that. If you have a partner and she's got one social media account, just one, got 50 friends on there, and she's a pretty girl, she's added you to her keeper list. That's the one where she doesn't want you to know what else she's got going on in the background. So that sort of a lady will often have 5,000 followers on TikTok under a different name, and you can guarantee a few hundred of those will be sending them money. Not that that's, once again, a bad thing. It's just making the best of a bad situation. So don't hold it against them. 136. There you go. So that gives you an idea of a few little tricks of the trade. But like I've said before, your biggest danger in Southeast Asia is not the Asians. Hello! It's us. It's the other foreigners. Your biggest danger in Southeast Asia is the other foreigners. Without question. Especially the ones that are not terribly cashed up. Be careful of those. Present company excluded. But look, secrets coming soon. Anyway, so there's those things. Sorry, Bon. So they're the things that are going to bring you unstuck. So just be aware of it, and you'll be fine. Evening, Bong. So if your girlfriend works in a bar or something like that, and every time she goes to work, the English improves unbelievably, from the text messages that you get from her from the translator when you're at home, you can guarantee that for the last 6 months, you've been talking to the boss or, somebody above her. It won't have been a man. More, 99.999% of the time, everything in Southeast Asia is run by the women, especially here in Cambodia. So it would more than likely be the boss or the manager, and they would know intrinsically your personal situation when you land here in Phnom Penh. So be wise to that, if you have met them and their English is off, and the text messages that you get just seem to improve unbelievably. More than likely the boss has got the phone and she's off working somewhere else, So there you go.